Hi, everyone. Sorry that we're a couple of minutes late, but we're just preparing it and getting into our new setup for a high vibe chat with Dee and Lauren. It's so good to see you here. Please make sure to click on the link above the video for StreamYard so that we can see your name if you comment. And we encourage you to comment, ask questions. Today, we're really just talking about what the fun is going on. And if you live in America or actually anywhere in the world, you probably woke up to some really interesting news. So we're going to touch base on that too. So we're going to just begin right now. My name is Dee. I live in San Diego, California. I'm a Reiki Master and Ascension Channel. What that means as an Ascension Channel, I actually channel the Ascension Masters and Guides whose sole purpose is for to help all of us ascend and through this major shift. And yes, October is a little bit of a roller coaster and it's literally holy shift. So here's Lauren. Lauren, tell us where you're at. Tell everybody where you're at.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you again, or if this is the first time. Nice to meet you. It's Lauren Anchetta. This whole internet world, right? I'm like, what do I say? My name is Lauren Anchetta. I am a Reiki master, the Yoga Nidra priestess, and a yoga teacher. I specialize in helping people find really deep levels of relaxation and inner peace. And I do this specifically with Yoga Nidra, and Yin and Reiki are my two main forms I am teaching right now. I actually have a Yoga Nidra sanctuary Sunday. We'll talk more about that at the end, but stay tuned and check me out on social media. I have my classes posted on Instagram at Lauren Kai Wellness, and that is the same on Facebook. And I'm coming to you live from Oahu.
Yes. Paradise City. So again, please click on the StreamYard link just to approve. Otherwise, if you comment or anything, it will say Facebook user, and I don't have the ability to be looking at both at the same time, so I won't know who you are. So I just encourage you to give us permission for StreamYard so we can see your name and let us know if you have any questions. So we moved, so backtracking it just a little bit. So High Vibe Chats, Lauren and I have been doing it for 3 months already. We just had our 3-month anniversary and we're doing it live on Instagram. Then I decided to shift it to the Facebook community, bringing it to the group because it was doing really well and not everybody had Instagram. And a lot more people also have Facebook, and it's actually simultaneously being live on YouTube, so you can catch it there also. And each week we come on weekly. It's your weekly dose of consciousness and full awareness, and we talk about everything and anything. We encourage anybody who wants to have a topic that you'd like us to talk about, or just literally a conversation to raise our vibration. And today, as you see, we're talking about what the fun is going on. And this topic kind of came as, we're like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Everybody's talking about the energy. We have Mars in retrograde. We just had a full moon in Aries. We just entered, we're in Libra season and we're entering this new month, and it's a lot of energy that is happening right now, and you may feel being pulled in many directions. And then with the outer world, there's a lot happening. So let us know if you have questions regarding that. We're going to talk really with the Ascension Check-In and upgrade. So Lauren, what is your feel with everything that is happening right now?
Okay. So right now I feel especially like the heat is being turned up, and it's like we're in this pressure cooker. That is the world, and it's just getting progressively hotter and hotter and more pressure until if you have a pressure cooker at the end, when it's done, it starts to you let it go and it just right, all this steam. So yeah, I definitely feel like the heat's being turned up and the energy is intensifying. We are seeing really the split of the two worlds, if you will. It's becoming more and more and more apparent if we relate it to 3D versus 5D. And if you don't know what that's about, you can just see it more as the light and the dark, you know, like high vibe, low vibe. The polarity is really being shown to all of us. I'm also noticing a theme with, and I was speaking with another friend about this last night, everything's being dredged up on an individual level. A lot of things that we have maybe swept under the rug or thought we dealt with and it was done or haven't wanted to look at, it's all coming up and out and staring us directly in the eyes. Like, hi, you can't ignore me. Like, you're like, I'm just going to go this way. No, I'm going to go with you. Like, there's no dodging these themes. And I'm going to call them themes because if you look at what's coming up for you and you trace it back, most likely this isn't new stuff. This is stuff that has been a theme throughout your life, whether that's feelings of worthiness issues, whether it's relationship issues, whether it's, you know, whatever it may be, it's all forcing you to look at it to release. But that is also intensifying, especially based on how much inner work or looking within. I don't want to call it inner work, but we can for the sake of simplicity and clarification. How much inner work you've done is going to how much you're experiencing is going to be dependent on how much inner work you've done up to this point in time. So if you're feeling really like you're being thrown around, now is the time to dive within, for sure.
Absolutely. And that it tends a lot when we're not grounded, like what you're talking about. You know, it's all the work that we've done. And even if somebody's like, well, I haven't done that much inner work, literally, if you know how to breathe, how to maybe hold stillness for a little while, just to bring awareness to the situations, that is more than enough. But throughout this, it's going to be a roller coaster. We're really not out if everybody's thinking like, oh, it's been this long and all this is happening and we're about to, you know, be done with a little bit of crazy energy. October is holding a lot of a very high vibrational energy, and we may not be ready for it. We may feel like it's a lot of energy that it's not, it's either like a snowball and you're gonna roll with it without having any control, but knowing that if you stay centered and grounded, you have control. This is very high vibrational energy that is coming in, and we're constantly receiving this light codes and this really big downloads. Either you believe that or not, I bet you this past week you either felt very lethargic or a little extra cranky, and that is part of that. It's all part of the shift and the ascension that we're going through. And staying grounded is the best thing. Simply bringing awareness is the best thing that we can do in this moment. And one thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit is a lot of us saw the news yesterday, and this is wanted to talk about Trump and COVID. So last night, you know, we saw the whole thing with Trump and COVID, and I saw everything today when I woke up this morning. Just, you know, I actually didn't check so much, but the little bit that I checked this morning on social media, because I took a beach day today, it was pretty extreme. The comments were pretty hardcore, and a life is a life. So the energy, you know, behind it. And then I happened to see Feel Good. I'm definitely going to credit him on this. I saw a video that he had, and he's like, everybody who's like karma and all that, it's like, just think about it yourself, regardless of who they are and what they're doing, the energy you're putting behind it, like, he deserves it, it's an asshole, blah, 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 blah. That anger that you're holding, it's not necessarily for that person. Maybe part of it is, but there's a lot of, you know, of things to look inward for a second. And I was like, okay, I'm like, maybe I'm not going to touch on it at all. But like when I talked to my kids, I was like, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, and they're laughing. And I was like, it's still alive. Alive is alive. And something that Feel Good said this morning that resonated highly, we all are one. right? So you may be very spiritual and still be saying, "Oh, what an asshole," but then it's like if you believe that we are all one, it's like we're all different, just rainbow, like light beams from the same rainbow. And it is, for a long time I thought, and it's been a while, I was like, what happened to him? At some point, I am going to say I am not a Trump supporter in any fucking way, clarify, but it's alive is alive. So wishing ill on somebody else, just think of your own karma. Like I saw a lot of memes, and I saw a lot of memes from people that they're so loving and so that, and I was like, I couldn't believe that they were trapped in this idea of memes in karma and that, and I was like, wow, it really shows me how much more needs to be done. So Lauren, do you care to touch on this? And you can say no.
No, absolutely. I'm an open book. I don't really know if there's a topic that I've considered off limits just yet. Yes, I noticed a lot of the same energy being thrown around that you noticed. I also saw that Feel Good video, which was, I don't know, hearing some of his videos, it's like going to church for me. I'm just like, it put me back in a space where I was like, yes, this is what I was feeling because, okay, so let's break it down. Like starting from, go to your Facebook feed, go to your Instagram, you're going to see it. How does it make you feel? Because I know for me, I didn't feel good. I mean, obviously memes, some of them you can't help but kind of be like, laugh. However, like you said, he's not a meme. He's not a puppet. He's a person, regardless of what you believe about him, what is being said, the stories that have been spun about him. And I, as well, I don't consider myself a Trump supporter, but this is just coming from a supporter of fellow humans. And lives and energy. It's really easy to dehumanize people on social media. And I think that's a really dangerous hole to get sucked into, because when it's so easy to dehumanize others. And he is definitely someone who has been through like the gamut, whether you think deservedly or not. I'm not going to go there with it, but I think that it is important. We are mirror reflections of one another. So what you see in me is also within you. What you see in him is also within you. The asshole you see in him is the asshole within yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that's going to hit some people some kind of way, but it's true. Oh, excuse me. Decline. If you can see that in another, that hatred you feel for him is hatred you feel for yourself. And when Feel Good said that, he said something along those lines in his video, and yes, that's exactly what it is. Like the love you see in, like the love I see in Dee. I adore this woman. I think she is so beautiful and just such a bright, wonderful spirit. And if you're able to see that in another, you're also able to see that for yourself. If you weren't able to see that for yourself, you wouldn't be able to see that in another. This is pure energy. We're talking vibration here. It has to resonate. Like you have to be of a certain vibration to be able to see that in another. And if we're dwelling in the hatred and the anger and the karma's a bitch and all this lower vibrational stuff, I mean, it's just, I don't know, what do you want to reflect? What do you want to send out into the world? Because I think this is I don't want to see this in the world. And it just builds and builds and builds. Like have the guts to go into any comment section on really anything, but especially maybe some of this information, like find a news article about Trump and his wife getting COVID, go into the comment section. It's going to be a disgusting place to be. It's going to be gross.
Yes. And that's the thing, the vibration that holds the whole, you know, like the anger. And I think I was having this conversation maybe with Lauren when the debate was happening. My husband and my oldest son were watching it, and my son was like, oh my gosh, oh, I can't believe this guy. And I was like, wait, we're being objective here rather than internalizing everything. And it's just like, oh, you know, the energy you're sending out is what you're getting back. So I was like, you look at it as an observer, it's like, I don't agree with that politics. That was really ridiculous what that person said, but I'm not going to be pissed. And now I have a icky feeling in my body that is not supporting any of the energy. So right now, a lot of that is happening where there's so much more, it's going towards lower vibrational energy. And we are vibrational beings. We speak in a vibrational language and we live in a vibrational world. So what we're emitting right now, it's huge. We have to be very much in awareness of what is the energy we're putting out. And it's so interesting just simply by saying Trump now, at least in America, it's just like, it's a point of discussion in a way. And I'm like, we can still have civil discussions. It doesn't have to be anger. Not everything has to be anger, you know, polarized, boom. You just get like in your little bubble and you have no room for any objectivity in any side. And it's important. It's important to be, first of all, center within ourselves to take in whatever information it is. And then notice what you're letting in. You know, how easy and how quick are you to get pissed? Why?
Exactly.
Why? You know?
Yes.
Why? So again, the awareness, and that is huge. And that is a lot part of this, about the energy upgrades that we are actually having right now. It's a lot of that. It's the energy upgrades that are occurring in life are, some of them are so subtle that you don't feel them. And some of them either coming into your life and you're thinking that, taking that victim mentality, why is this happening to me? And this just happened, and now this happened on top of that, and this happened on top of that. And that, all it's saying is that you're not ready to, you're not at that vibrational frequency of saying, okay, let me breathe, let me see what is next to take, you know, to observe and take in, and what resonates and what doesn't resonate, rather than going into the victim mentality. That shows you right there that there's still a lot more to look at.
Absolutely. And I mean, it just comes down to also like basic law of attraction. What you put out, you receive back, to put it in simplistic of forms.
Absolutely.
Right? Like what I feel like when I think of the energy you're emitting, your frequency, and dive into, we can play with whatever frequency we want to. We all have freedom of choice. Just because you're a high vibing human the majority of the time doesn't mean that we're not going to occasionally get sucked into the lower frequencies. Like it happens. This is a ride. It's a roller coaster. So we're going to have those experiences, but we have a choice of, am I going to attach to this? Am I going to identify with this? Am I going to own this? Are you a hateful person? Are you going to own that? Or are you just experiencing hate? Because there's a difference. There's a very big difference between owning it and experiencing it. And allowing ourselves to just experience this realm of emotions and frequencies that we have been dealing with and are going to continue to deal with, that will be a much smoother ride than owning it, taking it on, and letting all of that frequency basically come your way. So I think I got off topic a little bit, but if we think about frequency, it's like, what is it, a sonar where it puts out those beep, 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 and it's just this wave that is like trying to detect something, right? So if you're in a submarine, see it with me. You're in a submarine and you see the little sonar board. If that's not the right word, I'm sorry, but you know, and it's putting out that blip of frequency, we'll call it that blip of energy, and it's trying to detect stuff in its field, right? So think about that with your energy. You are this beam of energy, and what you put out, your frequency, it's going to ripple back to you. Instead of just going out and away from you, it's also going to come back to you. People call that karma. We can also look at it as that's just a law of attraction and frequency. You know, it's just how energy works. So what we're putting out there, like what Dee, you were mentioning about the victim mentality. If you're owning the victim mentality and you're in that story and you're in this, oh, my life is happening to me and it's not happening for me, and it's just, oh, poor me. Why do I keep, we all know that story. Maybe we've had that story. We know somebody with that story. That you're creating your reality.
Yeah.
Every word you speak about poor you, all this horrible stuff keeps happening to me. Why? The universe is like, horrible things happening to you. Boosh, boosh, boosh. Let me keep showing you that. And it's an opportunity for you to be able to look at that. And it's trying to shake you from that victim mentality, right? By making you own it. Own what you've created and move on. But a lot of us get stuck in those stories and we don't own it and we don't move on. So,
Yeah. So who here has experienced, I just realized that I missed a D, the victim mentality? Let us know. There's no, we all have been there. We all have experienced that. We all got into a place of like, oh my gosh, why again? Why me? And all that. And it's okay. It's part of the human experience. The key thing there is, how long do you stay in that? So it's like, okay, awareness, and it's like, okay, I see it. I allow myself to be here, to throw that tantrum. And then what action I'm going to take rather than what reaction I am going to take. So let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. If you hit the link above from StreamYard, I'm able to see your message. Somebody said, hey, Diana, hey, back, but I can't see your name. It just says Facebook user. So just encourage you guys to do that. That's amazing. But, victim mentality also comes in many ways, not only for ourselves. Sometimes we see it happen to somebody else and it's like, oh, that poor person. That somebody just passed away, and then and it's like poor person, and this happened, and then that's not helping energetically. You are putting that energy out there. So then what happens? It's like you're sending this energy because you're empath, right? And you're like feeling bad, but then you're talking to your friends or your neighbors. That so-and-so, their person passed, a family member passed away, and then she lost her job, and then she's about to lose the apartment. You see all the energy that you're putting towards this other person. It's not it's not the best energy to put out there right now. It's holding them in space. It's like, okay, if something happened, say something happened to me, and Lauren, it's like, oh, Dee, I feel so bad. And, and somebody says, hey, Lauren, I heard something happened to your friend Dee. What happened? And rather than her being like, oh, guess what? This and this and this happens. It's like, she's going through something. She's strong. And we're sending her the best vibes. Rather than, and energetically, she's emitting this different frequency rather than a low vibrational frequency. She's emitting a much higher frequency. And how often, please tell me, we all done this, but there's so many of you out there that if you're working at the lunch break with the other coworkers, you're talking crap about the boss or about the other coworker or the this and that. We've all been there. That is a lower vibrational frequency. Just by being, what is it, at fault for association, guilty for association, you're bringing down a lower vibration frequency. And, when you're raising your vibration, you're maybe like, oh, they start to gossip about something. Gossip is very low vibrational. So, rather than, okay, like, I'm not interested in that topic, I'm going to walk away, or let's talk about something else. But sometimes we feel we can't. But we've all experienced that. But I always say, okay, if you're not talking about yourself, notice also how you're talking, because we speak a vibrational language. How are we talking? What are we sharing of somebody else? How are we expressing ourselves, not only of ourselves, but of others? It's important to have that. It's important to just bring, again, awareness to that part. Absolutely. Anything there for you, Miss Lauren?
I think you nailed it. I agree. It comes with the awareness. Once we start taking ownership of, okay, I've created my life. I'm exactly where I am right now in this present moment. I have to take 100% accountability that I've created where I am right now. All good, or what you perceive as bad, all what you perceive as good. And once you're able to take ownership, then those other doors start opening.
Yeah.
And awareness comes, I believe, the awareness comes in a lot more obvious and apparent. And it's not, I mean, what I would add to this is not to judge yourself.
Yeah.
Can you have this awareness? Can you look at your life and behaviors and habits and whatever it is honestly and objectively, but still love yourself through that? Because that is a really key component. I think a lot of us, especially when we maybe first start becoming aware and awake of how we function as humans and how we have functioned, we've all done great shit in our lives, and we've all done bad shit, to be honest. Like, we've all done things that we are less than thrilled have occurred.
Yeah.
But can you love yourself regardless?
Absolutely. And, a couple of things. One that earlier when I said, rather than reactive, and it was saying yes, action, to take that action, that is very important. And that just comes when we take action. It can be from a place of awareness. So say if you're like, okay, I really feel like taking that nap. I'm really tired. I would like to take a nap, but it's like, it's not productive. That's actually another form of intentionally. It's like, I'm going to take a nap for myself to recharge. That is intentional action that you're taking. So action doesn't always look of like, I have to go and hands-on do, like fill out, a paper or create a program or call your clients or, go with the kids to the playground. You can, be at home or do something else. It looks in different ways. And right now you touch on something really awesome that I wanted to touch on. You mentioned we can love ourselves. And that is one big thing. With the loving the self, I've noticed with even clients, it takes a different type of energy because a lot of them they don't feel that they love it themselves. So I always encourage appreciation. It comes with appreciating. Do you appreciate one, do you like yourself, right? Do you appreciate what you do in life? Do you have appreciation not only for yourself, but for others? If you don't have appreciation for yourself, do you have appreciation for other things that you do or things that you have in life? And one thing that, yes, the gratitude is love is the highest vibration that we have in the planet. And gratitude is what ignites and amplifies that higher vibration of love, and it really brings it in. So how can we, of course, our ultimate goal will be to love ourselves. But if we're not quite there, how can I experience the same sensation and still go towards a high vibrational frequency? And the thank you method is kind of what I call it. Instead of, going into a deep gratitude meditation, maybe after doing anything, I just, a very intentional thank you. Just doing things with a really strong intention, that is huge, and it makes such a positive impact in your life, and it sustains your own vibration, and which is part, I feel, of our Ascension check-in that we're going through right now.
Absolutely.
What do you feel about the? How do you feel about the self-love for you? Has that been for you or for people, your own clients, your friends? How do you see them answering to that? Because I notice that there's a lot of resistance sometimes because they don't, a lot of people don't think they're worthy of love.
Yeah. I think that is maybe one of the biggest struggles and biggest lessons we all have to learn in this life. Not all of us, but it is a very common theme. It's absolutely been a theme in my life and something I work on every single day. I've heard it from clients as well. And so this goes back to something I think I mentioned in the beginning. If you can see something in someone else, it's also within you. So think about that. If you're able to say that you love someone else unconditionally, it's not a conditional love of, oh, I love them because they do this for me or they make me feel good. No, if you can look at somebody and think, damn, unconditionally, I love you. I would do anything, whatever it is, however that feels for you. it's also within you. Even if you haven't fully embodied it and owned it for yourself yet, it's within you. It's within all of us. I mean, we are beings of the highest love and light. Every single one of us, even Trump. Okay? At the core of who he is, not, like whatever. And that people are gonna be like, no. But one of us on this planet, at our truest, highest self, is a being of pure love and light. Our souls, I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And through life, somewhere along the way, somebody told you you're not good enough. Somebody told you, you're ugly. Somebody told, that it's little things that have added up for us to, we've owned false stories about ourselves along the way. Okay. And it's created perhaps resistance with feeling that we are worthy of our own love or worthy of love from somebody else. Because how could somebody love me when I'm blah, 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 all of these negative things, right? Mm-hmm. That we've been told and we've owned. Because if we didn't own them, it wouldn't be a problem. But we've owned it.
Yeah.
So I feel like self-love, it's a daily practice. Mm-hmm. Daily. And me personally, I'm still working on this daily because I have owned a lot of things that I don't even consciously realize sometimes. And then it bubbles up. Like, ooh, that hurt, or that was a zing, that was something. And where I am now on my own personal journey, I know better, and I'm able to untangle that entanglement and let it go for the most part. But things still pop up. It is a daily practice of being like, oh, that popped up. That's weird. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm not going to own that. I'm going to let that go. Maybe I've owned it before, but I'm done with it. Cutting ties, cutting cords, cutting ties all day, every day, and loving yourself through it. And I love what you said about just the simple action of bringing gratitude into an every moment, every day kind of thing. We can try to look at ourselves in the mirror. That's another really great one. Look at ourselves straight in the eyes and just attempting to be like, I love you. I love you. And maybe it's not what you see just yet, but like try to find that inner you, that highest self version of you, and love that. Love.
Absolutely. Yes. No, and that is huge. And, that's where like you try to find that little part of like, love it and love it hard, but it's like appreciate it, at least acknowledge it and see how it makes you feel. Because I think we come from at some point in life, all of us have disassociated ourselves from something, and that had just snowballed into creating these stories of unworthiness because somebody mentioned something, a loved one when we were little. And all of them pretty much come at a very young age, and we're just like sponges at that moment, and we're just absorbing everything. So now is the time to really let go of a lot, especially with this the rest of the year, which again is not like go into crazy mode and it's scary, but it is, if you're not prepared, it's gonna catch you by surprise. You're gonna be the person hoarding toilet paper, like that same feeling where you were back in March, like, oh my gosh, getting all the food and all this stuff. Like that was crazy mode. If we look back at that, and everybody here still freaking thinking, what the hell with the toilet paper, why it was a thing. But we can, if we don't prepare ourselves centered and being objective and staying in a state of neutrality where we can be the observer and really step away from it and not react and take intentional action, it's going to kind of drag you. But knowing that you are in full control of everything that is happening, even you're still in full control of what's happening outside of you, even though you're like, I can't control that. Yes, we cannot control the outside circumstances, but we can control our reaction to them, right? So we're going to try not to react. We're going to try to respond, to take action and not be reactive, because that's where we can really get dragged into a much lower vibrational frequency. And right now it's all about grounding and staying in a high vibrational frequency. So yeah, I don't know, anything that you want to wrap it with? I know we'll do some cards, but just anything you want to say before I don't know, how do you feel?
I feel good. I think that we covered a lot. And I think that's good amount to ponder on.
Good. It was.
Let us know how this hit for you and how it feels and where you're at. Where are you at?
And we know for sure that everybody's feeling something. The thing is, you want to hide it and really be like, bypass it. It will snowball. Let me tell you, you don't bring it up, it's going to stay there, not going to be shut there for a long time. Or you want to, learn more about it and what is it that you can do at this moment to keep yourself in a high vibrational frequency, and just appreciate, even though, things may not look quite as shiny as one expected, we're still here. We're still sharing. You're watching this video. We're in the same timeline. And, we love you. If you haven't heard it today, we love you and we appreciate you. And we see you doing the best that you can with what you know and what you have. And that is enough, because you, my extraordinary soul out there, you are enough. And that's a beautiful place to be. Another thing. So, okay, I'm good. I don't know. Do you have cards, Lauren, or?
I don't on me, shockingly.
Okay, but nope. Then, so I could pull them. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card, and this is usually what we do. I pull a card, and then Lauren reads it. Sometimes she'll pull a card, and then I interpret it, and she's just going to feel into her guides. And we're going to have, this is, today was a little bit of a stronger topic, especially with that Trump COVID, because it's that, but we shouldn't be scared of talking about subjects, of any subject. We shouldn't be scared. We should really, well, I notice myself saying should, right? We're able to speak about what we like to speak with a lot of compassion, just with a lot of compassion, and holding a high vibrational frequency for whoever's sharing. So let's have more conversations. Okay, so today feels very goddess. So I'm pulling from the Goddess card deck because I felt it really strong, like a really big message coming from them today. And so this is for the collective, for you. What is it that you need to hear today? Look, true love. Genevieve with true love. And it's the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you.
I love that. Guinevere, true love. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very on point with what we're talking about today. Will you read the description one more time?
Yes. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you.
I think so. I mean, I think a lot of us who are maybe, well, if we look at it from a romantic partnership type of place, I think many of us are going to be experiencing perhaps a greater connection in our own lives with our existing partners. Maybe there's somebody new aligned with where we are right now, a vibrational alignment that will be coming into our lives. But I also think for those of us that just the heart center in general is very important right now.
Yes, definitely. I feel a lot of the heart center, like really, really strong, because we're coming into that more than anything, with acknowledging that love is the highest vibration that we have right now.
Yeah,
so I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching the live. If you're watching the replay, just know that all the videos that Lauren and I share are activating videos. So high vibrational frequency comes through you. Just energetically, we're doing this beautiful interchange, and knowing that at the same time, when you watch our videos, we are also transmuting and alchemizing energy. I love it. I love you all. And Lauren, please tell us about the Yoga Nidra.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I do a virtual Yoga Nidra sanctuary. So this is awesome if you are not in Hawaii with me, because you can attend based on your time zone. But I will be, Yoga Nidra is like a guided meditation. You lie down in the zone, and I guide you the entire time on a visual journey, emotional journey, energetic journey, whatever you want to call it. But really, the outcome is just deep relaxation. It lets you subconscious, which allows a lot of what needs to alchemize or transmute within you do so. It allows what needs to come up, up, out, and through is what I like to say.
Yes.
It's a journey, and it's really healing and just amazing. I love it so much. I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Yoga Nidra sounds really.
It's absolutely amazing. Lauren is the Yoga Nidra priestess. She has she has many gifts, but this is one. It's an incredible one. So if you can make it, it will be amazing. You're not going to regret it. We'll put the link in the comments, or I will see if I can add it into the post. But if not, it'll be for sure linked in the comments, and you just go sign up. You will not regret it. It's one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. So talking about that self-love, it feels so good for a little Yoga Nidra. You have to do nothing. You just lay there, and then she has sound healing. So it's incredible. It comes with a beautiful sound healing. So wonderful. Oh, well, thank you everyone again for watching. We love you so, so, so very much. Please don't forget, we will be on live next week. Let us know if you ever want to collaborate with us. We had a couple of people pop in, and we had great conversations. Or if you have a topic that you would like to share, we would love to talk about it. And the sole purpose of this is to raise the vibration of the universe, and definitely raise your vibration as you're watching this video. So I love you all so very much. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Hi Bye Chats with Dee and Lauren. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.